Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back. So now we're getting ready to install the front and rear end of the Kraton onto what was formerly the Talion's chassis. But before I do that, one thing that I am going to do is the following. I'm going to remove the ESC tray here, and when I do that, that's just more so I can remove the servo later on, because the reason why I'm going to remove the servo is because I'm going to upgrade it to a new one, which I'll be showing you guys in a later video. So I'm just going to pop this out, because once I install the new one, I need to do the cable management to reroute the servo wire underneath the ESC tray. So since the chassis is pretty much bare bones right now, it just makes all the sense in the world to do this. So in order for you to do that, you have to remove 9 screws, and they're 2.0 screws. So what I'm going to do is, I've already went ahead and loosened them up. So now I'm just going to take the 2.0 attachment here, put it on my electric drill, and just have at it. Now this is interesting. These screws here are actually shorter than the ones that I've taken off thus far. So what I'm going to do is, especially if you're new to the hobby or you're working on a new platform, one thing that I like to do is more or less use the pattern of the screws. So like that, when I remove the stuff, I can actually put them back on where they go. So basically these two, I'm going to place them here just in the same pattern. This one here, I'm going to place it here, and this small one, I place it there. So like that, when I remove the tray, I can just screw those back on, and I know what goes where. So now this pops out, as you can see. And what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these screws back in, insert again. And again, I just don't want these screws to get lost, but when it's time for me to remount this again, I know exactly which screw goes where. So in a nutshell, from what I can tell, the 4 posts to the servo, which are these 4 here, require the longer screws, and then the ones going to the ESC tray are the smaller ones, these 4. So I know I said earlier there were 9 screws to remove, but that was a mistake on my end. It's actually just 8. So you got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws to remove. So now I'm just gonna fish this out, and there we have it. So ESC tray and servo now it's been removed. So when I'm ready to upgrade it, I'll just tackle this and do what I need to do. So let's move on. The tower here that protects the body, from caving in, I'm not going to install this, because again, I'm going to dismount this in order to rebuild the center diff. Reason why I'm not doing this now is because I intend to finish the Talion first, and once I'm done with the Talion, then I'm going to move on and do this whole segment on the Kraton. So first thing I'm going to do is I am going to line up these holes. And not going to forget this time. Put on the front bumper here. And let's see. Reason I say that was because when I did this on the Talion, I forgot to put this, which I had to remove the screws and loosen them up in order to get them in. So I'm going to go ahead and place these in here. These 2 screws that go here into the steering post, they need to be Loctite it. I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to do that afterwards, because once I'm done always with an upgrade, I always like to go back and you know, make sure that all of the screws are nice and tight and what have you, and at that point I'll go ahead and I'll do that. And since I'm going to install a new servo, I don't know if I need to mess with the steering rack or what have you, and I have to take it off, so it'll be just pretty much a waste of time for me to do that now. I can always do that towards the end. So put that there. Same thing goes for the Talion. I'm going to be doing the same thing to it once I'm done with it. Okay, good. So flip this puppy over. I'm going to go ahead and install the screw for the torque rod right here. And come here. That's all she wrote. Next is, that's it. Now it's time to mount the rear. Here's our rear end, and I'm going to go ahead and place this here. Okay, so get your 4 screws and start inserting them. Again, always make it a habit to do things in a star pattern. It just gets you into the habit of it, and it becomes second nature, trust me. Go back, torque them. Good. 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 And we're done with this. And then we're going to go ahead and install the torque rod here. And then here for the torque rod, you have 2 spacers. And of the 2 spacers that you have here, there's one that's shorter than the other. And of course I dropped it. Again, there's one that's shorter than the other. Come on, work with me. And basically what you're going to do is the shorter end, you're going to mount it on the ESC side of the tray, meaning on the left side, and the longer one, you're going to install it on the right side where the motor goes. So I'm going to take this nut off the screw and begin to thread it in. Another thing to keep in mind is the nut, you just can't go ahead and screw it from either way. Actually, on the right side where the motor goes, it has a little star pattern that fits the grooves of the nut screw. So the nut needs to go on the right side, and the screw needs to be inserted from the right side. So just going to go ahead and thread this in. See if I can position this like that so you can see. So gonna, hopefully you guys can see, and thread that in, then in through the torque rod itself. Once I feel it on the other side, I'm just going to get the longer one and place that spacer in there, like so. And then I'm going to push in. Put the nut on the other side. Okay, that's good. And try to get this in. It's good. Now finish it off with the driver here, manual driver. Good. So now I'm going to take the rear dog bone, and I'm going to test to see And yep, I have no binding here. And once that goes in, and I should be in good shape. All right, guys, so that's how you remove the ESC tray and the servo mount, install the front end, and install the rear end on an armored Kraton. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Take it easy.